Welcome to the Point Second Podcast. My name is James Keeley. With me, as always, is Sammy Schaefer. How are you, Sammy?
I'm good. I have an update for you. I did MC a show on Friday, and I was offered $100 to come out of retirement, and I said no.
Oh, our little baby's growing up over here.
I said, nope, I am too old for that, and left it for the young men to take care of.
$100, Sam? To show your butt cheeks to people?
And I said no.
And you said no?
Yeah, and I could use the money, too, and I said no.
She's like, how about $103? You're like, yeah!
Sold!
I'll do anything.
To the questionable blonde.
I'll do anything. If she was better looking and she offered you $80, would you have said yes?
No, she was attractive, actually.
She was attractive?
Yeah, and I'm like, no, I'm good.
She offered you $100?
It was the birthday girl, too. And I was like,
really?
I'm not doing it. Mm-hmm.
I think you need to do that. Be like, I've been retired, and say like a lot longer, and then they'll be like, well, we'll buy him.
Yeah. Oh, I had a buddy that did that like every week. We'd be in a new city, and he'd pretend he was retired. He made so much money.
So it's a great scam.
He actually one time pretended to be gay, and is like, but I kind of want to dance on a girl, and the women just showered him with cash.
Oh, they're so bad.
So bad.
He's like, I've never felt a woman's love before, and just slammed all of them. I'm so good at this. This is way better than men. I'm an amazing heterosexual now. You threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah?
Well, we didn't even tell them what episode it was.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
You're good. This is episode 46, available Tuesday, February 6th. But honestly, we're putting them out Monday night.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah.
It's our show. It's our rules. We listen, we answer to no sponsors. We would.
Yeah.
But currently we answer
We've tried.
to no sponsors. Thanks for nothing, every business ever. All right, Sam. Only underdogs, overs, and props. You know how we do. It is that time of the year where the Super Bowl's coming up. I got some juicy bets.
Nice.
In the final episode, we're going to have them all. Oh, we're going to make or lose so much money for people.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. Sammy, what's on the show?
We've got game day drinks, more Super Bowl prop bets, and the king is back.
He's back. Which king is it?
Huh?
Sammy, this is episode 46. We have 47, and that's kind of it. And then we're going to do a 48 rap party.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Really sad.
It's sad, but we'll do more.
Yeah.
This has been a wonderful experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we have no sponsors. But DraftKings, you're an amazing business.
Yeah.
I took
taking all my money. You made a bunch of money out of them, but I took all my money.
I got lucky a few times. And we hit those 3 parlays in a row.
Yeah, that was huge.
We and then the guest picker champion, he won his parlay. That was a big one. I considered giving him just the $100 buyout and then be like, oh, you can just take this. We'll do one bet. But we went for the big money, and we hit cha-ching.
Big.
Yeah. Episode 45 was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Is there any news on the Chiefs fans?
It's weird. It's kind of trickled in that apparently there was fentanyl in their system, but it's not like an official toxicology report. It's like a preliminary toxicology report.
This story.
It's all
There's
going
to be a lot more to this
Yeah.
story. Because the families were like, these weren't drug users. Now, I think every family thinks that, But they were there. They were in jerseys. They were hanging. I don't think fentanyl is a drug you're going to bring to a watch party.
The problem with fentanyl is like it's kind of just in everything right now. I would be scared to do drugs because you might think you're buying cocaine and it's got fentanyl in it.
Okay, hit the brakes.
Yeah.
You would be scared to do drugs.
Those kind of drugs, yeah. Now, I would have done it like 10 years ago, but like you never know what's in it. How many stories have you heard? They're like, oh, they all just did a bump and they were dead an hour later. They may not even realize that they were doing fentanyl.
Okay, now I'm curious. So that's interesting. Yeah. So you're saying that it's like laced in designer drugs like cocaine and
it's cut in there.
Party drugs.
Yeah.
It's cut in.
And
okay.
it's such a little amount it takes to OD on that you don't even realize you're doing it and then you're dead.
So I don't know anything about it. Is it a drug that would be pleasurable to take? Is that why people put it in there? Do they cut it with that, or is it?
I guess I don't know as much about it, but it's got to be popular.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like people are not buying it.
Yeah. I mean, they say it's killing you horribly, and people
Yes.
are like, maybe just I'll try a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, heroin. Whoever thought like, let's try heroin?
Yeah. And that just got popular.
Give it a shot. I mean, that's I don't know. Again, not a drug guy.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I like, and I don't need to know if I like that.
Yeah, I think you're good.
I'm good. People all the time around here, they're like, why don't you try more drugs? I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'm happy.
What do you want? Do you want a father of 3 to get a habit? A drug habit?
Such a shitty thing to say.
Yeah, they're like, you don't try enough drugs.
Yeah.
Listen, we're a little concerned about your lack of experimentation with drugs in your mid-40s.
It's really becoming a downer, James.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really being a downer.
Yeah, because I'm so boring at parties.
You really are.
We went to an 80s party theme
Yeah.
on Saturday. And I phoned it in with my costume. I was Andy Kaufman, but just wearing a women's wrestling champion of the world t-shirt. No one was happy with me.
Well, it's funny because I love Halloween, costume parties, and you're just like, nah.
They barely knew who he was.
Yeah, that's
they were
unfortunate.
mostly Jewish, and he's one of the most famous Jewish comedians in the world.
I'm assuming they're close to our age too, so they should know who he is.
I was very disappointed in their Judaism and comedic reference of the 80s. So they were not happy with me.
Got it.
Kitty dressed up perfectly.
Yeah.
She looked great. 80s appropriate.
Nice.
And then I walked in and they were like...
It's just
Thanks.
disappointment, just running in their face.
And there was one guy who just wore a plaid shirt. He's like, this is from the 80s. I'm like, that's from every decade.
Yeah, plaid is just always around.
So
He phoned it in worse than you did.
I was like, if you're going to blame someone, it's not me.
Go for the guy in the plaid.
Yeah. Last episode, we talked about Mark Zuckerberg. Mm-hmm. He's doing well, apparently. Isn't the stock doing better?
That stock is never going away
It's never going
at
away.
all. And he did. You know what? Apologizing, whether he meant it or not, was the right thing to do. And I'm sure it shot up from there.
He's a robot, so
Yeah.
all they did was just program him
Yep.
to do the apology thing.
Yep.
They're like, try to be sincere. And he's like, okay. And he just uploads.
Word not in vocabulary. He doesn't know sincerity.
He does not know sincerity. All he knows is power and greed. Yeah. People still want to hear more nudist camp stories.
Okay,
You know, we were going to talk about your retirement, but you already broached that.
Yeah.
You're holding on strong. This is what, like 24 days?
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
for
we're
you.
doing good.
Good for you. And then we talked about Bud Light getting a new sponsor. That Shane Gillis, the comedian, who was fired famously from Saturday Night Live like 2 days after he was hired.
Yep.
And now he's hosting.
And they just announced he's hosting, I think, next week or a couple weeks from now. He will be on the episode.
I don't know him as well, but God bless him.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than a story where somebody gets absolutely mistreated.
Yeah.
He got his opportunity. They dangled that carrot in front of him. He's going, I'm going to be on Saturday Night Live. Could you imagine? You and I are old improvisers, sketch comedians.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they called and said, you're going to be on Saturday Night Live?
Oh,
now, I
God.
think the show is trash.
Yeah. But even now, if I hated the show and they're like, you want to be on it? I'd be like, yeah. Are you kidding me? It's Saturday Night Live.
You go, I'm going to bring back the 90s to
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to make it less about your political agenda and more about actual comedy.
Yeah.
And let's get this party started. Let's find the next Will Ferrell. Let's find the next Dana Carvey.
Yeah.
Let's get some great people over there. It doesn't just have to be about whose turn is it.
Yeah.
You know, it should be about who's the funniest. There's a lot of whose turn is it cast members on there now.
Yeah.
So not
Well,
a popular thing to say, but it's true.
With Shane, I like about him is like I don't think he actually asked for any of this. Like he didn't really try to get an SNL. He didn't try to get the Bud Light thing. He's just so naturally funny.
Yeah.
That it's just all working for him. That's
Yeah.
why you can't cancel him because he doesn't care. He's just like whatever. Okay, you don't want me on your show, no big deal.
Right.
And that's why I love him.
Yeah, I feel like this is a time for naturally funny people who haven't done all that much to really get famous.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
That wasn't pointed at all. I was just saying, I was just browbeating the 75 people that watch this podcast. All right. We have a very special guest. Let's have a cocktail with this gentleman.
All right.
The king is back.
Ooh.
Are these game day drinks?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the presence of royalty. The guest picker champion, King Randall Alexander. How you doing, Randy?
I'm feeling really good, really lucky these days. I'm just hoping it carries through 2024 this year.
Absolutely. You did a great job on the show. Came in at the end. Stomped on Jordan Kaplan's dreams.
And he held on to that for the whole season.
He mentioned it on Saturday.
Did he really?
Pretty sure he mentioned it on Saturday.
I mean, he really thought he had it, dude. I did too. All season he held on to that.
He did. He did. But guys, now it's time for everybody's favorite drinking game. It is game day drinks.
All right.
All right.
What do we have?
We have Happy Dad Hard Seltzer.
Okay. Now I bought this because it just sounded like it was like pandering to dads, and wives would buy this, like Happy Dad. So it's like a hard seltzer, and I love seltzers too, and seltzers. But you said that it's who has this? Who put this out?
Yeah, I heard about it. There was there's like a group of influencers called the Nelk Boys, and they apparently started this brand up. That's kind of my general knowledge about it. I don't know exactly when or who of that group came up with it, but yeah, the Nelk Boys.
The Nelk Boys.
It seems odd for influencers to be trying to capture the dad market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey,
They seem
maybe-
pretty young too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many of them have children.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them do, but hey.
It's good. I've seen a lot of these. It's like, crazy mom seltzer and all this, like too much laundry, skinny margarita. They try to like drag you in. They're like, I guess I have that too. So we'll see what this is like. Here's a Jackie glass here. There's no color to this. It's a seltzer, and this is the pineapple we're starting
So
with.
there's 4 flavors in the variety pack. There's pineapple, which we're gonna do, and then there's wild cherry, lemon lime, and I forgot the third one. Let me. Watermelon.
Watermelon. That's right.
There we go.
All right, boys. Cheers. Welcome back, Rando. You got to give us some good picks for the Super Bowl. So overall, are you guys fans of hard seltzers?
Yes,
I go back and forth on them.
I do like hard seltzer.
I think it depends on the seltzer.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody knows the rules. You need a 6.4 or more to be a game day drink. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Who are we starting with?
Randy, have you scored, Randy? I mean, get it together, Randall.
Yeah, well,
This isn't your first time.
You
You
saw
can't
me.
play that.
I had to take 3 drinks. So I'm really
It is-
over here trying to
It
consider
is a tough one.
All right, I do have my score.
It's a very complicated thing, and we'll explain it in a little bit. But Randy gave this a 6.1.
I think he liked it for game day 6.7.
6.7 on the money.
Yeah.
You're like a real James and Kitty of this game.
We got a real connection. over here.
You guys know how to do it. All right. What do you think Sammy gave this, Rando?
I'd give him a 6.3.
Yeah, I got him at a 6.7.
6.1.
Didn't
Yeah,
I messed.
we're on it.
I,
We're
went-
in tune
oh,
over here.
I messed it up. I had Randy at a 6.1. So you did not like this. All right. And,
Yeah.
and what did I give it?
I gave you. I think you gave it a 6.1.
I think he went 5.4.
6 flat. 6
Oh,
flat.
okay.
It does not qualify. Okay. Here I'm gonna go first.
Yeah.
It's very like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, very very light. Very just a hint.
That's it. The problem with seltzers is they aren't the most robust flavors, but this is probably the weakest flavor of all the ones I've tried.
I mean, it's fine. I don't know if it's gonna get you there. Now we're gonna try all of them by the end of this episode, and we'll find out.
Is it 5% alcohol?
5% alcohol.
Typical.
Yeah.
I don't taste like a thing. I taste a hint of pineapple,
Yeah, barely.
but it's like water. It's like from the spa. Like they're like it's pineapple infused water, and you have that after you get a massage. That's what it
I don't
tastes
know.
like.
I feel like they bottled it and then just walked a pineapple through the room.
Yeah.
That's about as much
Just
pineapple as I
wafted it.
pick up on it.
See, now it's more of a summer drink.
You got to
to
get
me.
in frame more here,
Yeah,
Rando.
there you go. It's more of a summer drink for me. Like, it's cold out. This isn't going to be good for me when I'm cold. But if I was sitting outside barbecuing, maybe I'd score this
It's
higher.
so smooth, and if it's gonna get you kind of lit
Yeah, there you go.
and not frozen to death
yeah.
outside of a Chiefs party, then you're good. Can we joke about that yet? I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
good.
You know.
I mean, I think you got to sacrifice taste for all the nothing in there. Like, no sugars, no carbs. I mean, you're just kind of sacrificing.
Gluten-free,
Yeah,
everything's gluten-free.
100 calories. So, yeah, if you're trying to drink healthy and get drunk, it's a good option.
Question for you guys:
Yeah.
How many people that say they're gluten free actually have celiac disease? Like percentage wise, I think it's like 40%.
Yeah, I would say less than 50, but
Yeah,
I think that's just
Who knows?
it's popular.
I think it's popular.
It's just popular to say I'm gluten free.
I think it's probably better to eat that way. I think less is more, but I don't know.
I'm not.
Not for me.
I agree with you. I like the idea people are trying to eat healthier. So good luck.
Yeah.
But let's not pretend like you need to.
But here's my problem with it: eat great.
Yeah.
Have whatever you want to do. Don't show up to a party and be like, "Where's my gluten free stuff?" Like you need to tell me ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like you need to prepare people.
Or bring your own.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bring your own. Yeah. But don't like if you're gonna go to a party, you can't hijack the menu and be like, sorry, we can't have those things because one person decided they are gluten free today. No, we're having pizza and we're not getting that shitty gluten free pizza. I'll get you the one, even though it's way more expensive and
Yeah.
it tastes not good. Now, if you legitimately have celiac disease, I will accommodate you.
Oh, yeah, that makes
But I need to see paperwork, or I need to trust you.
Submit your doctor's records.
But I know a few people that are like, I'm gluten free, and I'm like, is that a choice? Because if it's a choice, I'm not accommodating like your craziness. So, but whatever. I guess if you're vegetarian, I'm gonna accommodate you. So I don't know. I guess it depends on how much I like you.
I think that's what really matters.
'Cause you're-
I think that's what it is.
Your wife is more vegetarian, and whenever she comes over, we make it happen.
But she's probably not a jerk about it, and that's okay. Like if you want to be vegetarian, like I'll help you out. Just
Rita is the farthest thing from a jerk.
Yeah.
One of the most fun people you'll ever meet. So she gets whatever she wants.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But she's really laid back about it too.
Yeah, yeah.
She's not. It's not in your face, and she eats fish and shellfish as well. So she's not like a
Right. She's not slapping
She's
a
not
hamburger out
vegan
of
or
your
anything
hand
like
and,
that.
and
Right.
screaming at you.
right.
She's very good like that. All right. So did anyone give this a
said
game
no.
day? This is no for
I was
me.
like, actually, the only reason they call this Happy Dad is because it's in beer can size versus the normal seltzer.
And King Randy says it's a game day drink.
You did.
I would. I mean, I could drink this and watch a game. Okay, I could drink 6 of them. Would I? Am I going to go order it? Nah, probably not. But if
Yeah.
somebody was like, "Hey, I got you a beer," or "I got you a drink,"
Yeah.
okay, fine.
I think it's a 6 for me, and I'm sticking with that because I'm very similar to you. Like, if somebody gives it to me, yeah, I'll have it.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, what are the horrible things we have? The Jameson.
Oh.
That Jameson thing. I saw that in a liquor store the other day, and I'm like, who is buying this? It's one of the
like-
worst things I've ever had in my life.
Push it off the shelf and let it break. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, right. No
Just
one should
saved
have this.
somebody's, yeah.
No one should have this. I think I gave it a 2.1, maybe.
It was
And that's generous. So, all right. Well, we're gonna have the rest of these. We'll see if any of them are better than this pineapple one. And let's talk some football. It's almost a Super Bowl, boys.
Yeah.
NFL picks. Sammy, what's the last game we're looking at here?
Oh man, it's Super Bowl is finally here. Kansas City Chiefs at San Francisco 49ers is this Sunday at 5:30.
I'm very excited. I do not like the matchup, but it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And the Jets aren't playing in it, so I'm good. I'm good. The line last week was Chiefs +2, total 47. And what do we have now, Sammy? What's the current?
The Chiefs +2 is holding, but the total has went up to 47.5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for that Chiefs to go to 3. If
Three,
it hits
take
3, I'm just pounding it.
3 all day.
So the prop we went over already was Travis Kelce anytime TD score -120. There's a few other things that we're looking at with that. They have some like Taylor Swift props when I thought it was her, but it's they like did a clever thing on DraftKings. DraftKings, we like them. No,
Way to hold that.
DraftKings,
Freeze frame.
DraftKings, we're available. We'll leave our other sponsors.
I did get excited though when I saw the Taylor Swift props, and then realized like, it's just them being clever.
It's just them being clever with the names, but one of them like there's some we're gonna look into because they're fun.
Yeah.
And you got a couple of bucks to throw around. I mean, I'm going to bet heads or tails, so I'm definitely
Yes.
going to bet one of these cleverly named props. But one's called You Belong with Rasheed instead of You Belong with Me. And it's, will Travis Kelce or Rasheed Rice score a touchdown in the first half? And it's like -120. I think that's a pretty good bet.
Yeah.
Because Rice and Kelce have scored a lot of touchdowns this year, and they've been good targets. I looked at the data on them, and it looks like they're getting a ton of targets. It looks like it's a fun bet. That's the one I'm targeting, so we'll see. But I do like the Travis Kelce anytime TD score is still -120, and I kind of might bet the 2 TDs plus 475. The 3 TDs plus 2200. I don't think that's happening, but I got a new one, right?
Okay.
But do you have one you want to talk about?
Yeah, I was looking at any 2 players to score 1 touchdown, and the Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco, or Travis Kelce. Any of those 2 hit a touchdown anytime in the game. That's plus 150. I mean, it's
Okay.
kind of a safe bet.
But you know that when it says Mahomes, that has to be a rushing touchdown.
Yes.
You know that, okay. But he's been running, so
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad one. Get back in frame here, Rando.
There we go.
We need that handsome face. You're
we
doing
do.
you're doing a little Harvey Dent two-face half face there. So let's talk about this one, boys.
Oh, the new one.
Oh,
Well, you put the glass on, but you might
put the
talk about
glass-
this one. Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. All
Let's
right.
do a quick
What's
taste of
this?
the new
What's
one.
this next one?
Lemon lime.
Lemon lime.
All right. Yeah, let's do a quick taste of
All
it.
right. Cheers. All right. Let's see if this is any better than the. I don't think we have to do scores on this.
I'm saying worse than pineapple.
It's worse than pineapple, I
Yeah.
think.
I actually like this one better.
It's a stronger flavor, but I don't like the flavor that comes through it.
Okay. So your score only matters because you did call this a game day drink. So you had 6.7 on the pineapple. What are you giving this one?
I would give it 6.8.
Okay, so you're going up just a notch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can taste it more, and
Yeah. A little more flavor.
yeah.
It's got more bite. There's definitely more bite to it. I just think it's the lemon lime flavor is a little bit
Yeah, it's a
too
little
artificial. All right, so let's talk about this prop. I thought this was clever. The combined TD scorer jersey number.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
The combined TD score jersey number. Okay, so Patrick Mahomes is number 15. Kelsey's 87. So if you get those two and they score, that's 102, right?
Yeah.
It's all of these together.
Okay.
So whoever scores touchdowns, you get all the jersey numbers, you add them up.
Mm-hmm.
So the over-under on this is 121.5.
Okay.
Minus 150. It's a lot of juice on this, but it's a super fun bet, and I'm 1,000% taking it. And the
Sounds like a fun one. I've never heard
it
of it
is,
before.
and the under is 121.5, but plus 125. So of course, DraftKings and every book. We wouldn't criticize DraftKings,
No.
Samuel, but of course the bookie's going to benefit largely on this. But I like it. If the tight ends go off, you're great, right? Okay, so let's look at some of the jersey numbers here. George Kittle probably could have a touchdown. He's been a little banged up, but he's number 85. You get 85 points right off the bat, right? If he scores, you're good. Any lineman. There was a touchdown in the last matchup of this with a lineman. So their lineman numbers are 64 to 74. I looked it all up. That's for the starters. The backups are 55 to 78. You're doing great if you have a. You're probably going to win if they have a lineman touchdown. Kyle Juszczyk, he doesn't really score. Doesn't get a lot of touches. 40. He's number 44. Elijah Mitchell, the backup to McCaffrey's 25. McCaffrey's 23. You got to think McCaffrey's going to score. 23 points out of that. You're looking pretty good. But then you got Deebo Samuel, who's 19. He's a great weapon, but you don't want 19 points out of that. Jawan Jennings had a touchdown, I think, last week. 15. Brock Purdy's probably not going to run it in. He's 13. And Brandon Ayuk is 11. So if you're taking this bet, you don't want Deebo and Ayuk to get those passes. For the Chiefs, Travis Kelce's 87. That would be big, and I think he's going to score for sure in this game. And then their backup tight end, Justin Watson and Noah Gray, are 84 and 83, respectively. Then you got Clyde, and then it's a big drop-off in numbers. Then it's 25 and down. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's done jack much of the season, is 25, number 25. And then you get Mahomes. He could run one in, as Sammy suspects. He's 15. And then it really drops off. Mecole Hardman is 12. MBS, Marquez Valdes-Scantling is 11. Isaiah Pacheco is 10. And Rashee Rice is number friggin' 4. So you get nothing when he scores. You get 4 points out of him. So I looked it up. In the top 7 TDD scores, the odds on this on DraftKings is McCaffrey. He's the big one, minus 210.
Yeah.
Pacheco's minus 120. Kelsey's minus 110. Deebo Samuel is getting money, plus 135. Rashee Rice, plus 130. George Kittle's plus 155. And then Brandon Ayuk is 170. So those are all under 2 to 1. But they expect these guys to score. The only big ones on there are the tight ends. I just think the tight ends are going to score. What do you think?
I don't know about Kittle. I think
Kittle hasn't had a great season this
Kelsey
year.
will be a target. I feel like Debo is going to probably score for the 49ers.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take 19 points out of him, but
Yeah.
yeah. And then the next one is Mahomes at plus 380. So the top 7, you don't get a lot other than... But a McCaffrey touchdown looks likely. 23 points out of him. If you get a McCaffrey touchdown, a Kelsey touchdown, you're at... What's the math on that? You're at 110. So all you need is 12 points after that. I like the bet a lot. I'm taking it. It's heavy action. It's heavy chalk, but I like it. What do you boys think? You got to take it, right?
It's
I
a
think
good
it's
one.
I think it's a fun bet right there.
Yeah. So we're going to have a lot of props in the next episode, but I like that. Okay, but here's the next one. Same thing. The jersey number of the first TD scorer is over 22.5. Or you could take the under. Now, we don't take unders here, but you're not a slave to those rules like me and Sammy. So look at the numbers here, and what do you think? I still go over because...
Well, look at those top 7 TD scores.
Right. Top 7 TD scores. So you got... I think McCaffrey is like...
He just makes the cut.
Yeah. But you only got 3 out of 7.
That's true.
You got McCaffrey, you got Kelsey, and you got Kittle. But if you could have a wild card in there. You could have somebody that they do some crazy play to.
Yeah, that's
Like
a tough
maybe
one. I
random
mean,
defensive.
and you don't know who's going to have first possession, so
Yeah.
it could be. Oof. I mean, I feel like the odds are stacked against you there.
But are they, or is it the top player on the Niners is McCaffrey, and he's over 22 and a
Well,
half?
yeah, I guess you're right because McCaffrey's over and Kelsey's over. Those are 2 people I would
I
think are
those
going to
the-
score.
Right.
Primary goals, but
I think they're. Which bet do you like better? You like the combined or the jersey number of the first?
I like the combine because that runs the whole game.
I love the combined.
Yeah, it's just,
so much fun.
Every time you're racking up, okay, where am I at? I mean, it just keeps the excitement going.
Both.
You like-
I mean, why not? You put $10 on a prop bet.
Yeah. I mean,
So then the jersey number of the last TD score. Now by the end of this game, I'll have had several of these happy dads.
Yeah,
You will
I
be a
mean-
happy dad. Well, it depends. You might be a bad.
But is it that's such a coin flip for me because it's like who
Yeah.
whatever.
yeah.
You almost want to go under on
You
that
gotta start
one.
looking at jersey numbers for field goal kickers at that point.
You,
Well,
well,
it's only TD scores though.
Oh, you said TD score. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I thought
no,
last
you're fine.
score. Sorry.
No, I looked at that too. I'm like, oh, is it? Yeah, but no, it's just TD scores.
I don't like that one as much because
It's
depending on what the score of the game is, are they going to be passing? Are they going to be running? And
It-
I feel like the scores are going to be the receivers who are going to have the low
Absolutely.
numbers.
I feel like it's a total action play to do the last one. Like you have a little bit of insight on the beginning, but there's not this total coin flip. But again, I'm betting on the coin flip, so I'm good with
right.
it. I'm good with it. We'll see. So who do you like in the game overall, Randy? Do you have a play in this? If you got to take a bet, are you taking Chiefs +2? Total over 47.5. Are you taking the Niners laying or the under? What do you think?
I agree with you guys. What y'all said in the last podcast, you gotta have to go with the Chiefs here.
They've lost me so much
Tried
money
and
betting
true.
against them. So at some point,
I think that's certainly where I'd go with it. We'll see if that luck holds out.
Sammy.
It's that +2. It's such a close call. You might as well just take the points. There's a good chance I think they're going to pull it off and just win it.
I take the points.
Mm.
Brock Purdy, first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean,
My thing is, do you think Andy Reid's better than Shanahan? I do.
I do.
And do you think Mahomes is better than Purdy? Absolutely.
Yes.
Do you think Kelsey's better than Kittle? Yes. McCaffrey's a lot better than anybody they have on
Agreed.
at running back, and Debo's better than anybody they have at wide receiver, or Debo plays a little bit of running back too. And I think the San Francisco defense is more talented, but the Chiefs defense completely made Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore offense look stupid. They had chances, but they just didn't look good. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Chiefs all the way, I guess. Ugh, I hate it.
I agree with you guys. I don't like the bet, but how do you not take it?
Yeah. All right, we will have way more props. We'll do the total sum of all these degenerate bets. Let me know if you see anything on the list, Randy. We'll put a Randy bet up there.
I'm researching Gatorade colors right now.
Since you're the Gatorade color, I mean, can you bet that?
Yeah.
See,
yeah, why not?
You could bet what color is going to be dumped at the end of the game. I think orange was like +300 or something like that.
yeah, I bet. I mean, why wouldn't? Well, so the Chiefs have to have red Gatorade, no? I don't know. You could fix that so good too if
Yeah,
you're
you should.
the equipment manager. Take this one.
No, purple!
I'm really in debt.
It's paying off 1,000.
It's been a terrible season. The mom's gonna kill me. So yeah, like I do like the stupid ones though. I mean, I've at many Super Bowl parties been there with a timer and time the national anthem.
Almost every one.
Disrespectful to the national anthem,
Oh,
I
that's
think, and the singer of it. But
My uncle and I used to bet first injuries. I mean, you can't do that.
that's that is
bad.
ice cold.
It's real bad, but it's a fun one. You can't do that online. You can only do that with a friend.
Yeah, I love the Squares games too.
Yeah.
Squares games are so much fun. The Super Bowl is the best. They should have more of them. They should have one every 5 games. It's just such an event.
A mid-season Super Bowl.
Like every month, the top of the month, they should have a Super Bowl. But just the production of it, and Monday Night Football should be more fun. It should be more of a big deal, and it's not. They gotta figure it out. Less flashing the superstars on the screen and more production and putting the effort into it. And Usher, you gotta watch Usher the halftime show.
I'm not too interested in it.
No, me neither. I mean, and everybody's like, they should bring Taylor Swift out.
Go for the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah, Puppy Bowl. Puppy
Yeah.
Bowl's solid. Puppy Bowl's solid.
She made it very clear she will not be doing the Super Bowl.
You have to
sure.
pay to perform at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's the biggest scam
Oh.
Yeah.
because you get so much. He'll make a ton. Usher will make a ton of money on it. The NFL knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're pretty good at making money. All right, those are our props so far. We will have many more soon, and we got to talk about Let's talk about some Hollywood news. All right, you gonna stick around, Randy?
Yep.
We got more. We got more happy dads to drink. All
Let's
right.
do it.
Sammy, what else is in the news?
The great Carl Weathers has passed away at the age of 76.
All right, Carl Weathers would want us to have a happy dad cocktail.
Yes,
to
he
him
would
right now.
definitely-
Let's try this. Which one is this, Sam?
This is Wild Cherry.
All right, to the great Carl Weathers.
Yes, thank you.
Cheers
for
to you, sir.
everything you've done.
You have made some wonderfully entertaining movies. God bless him. Kind of unexpected.
This was the wrong drink to cheers to Carl Weathers.
Yeah. Can
Yeah.
let's get back to the great Carl Weathers in a second.
Yeah.
Better or worse?
I don't like it as much. I'm going down on that
This
one.
is the third best. So this is the worst so far.
Yeah.
All right.
Back to Carl Weathers.
Yeah, we're gonna pop out another one by the end of this segment.
Yeah.
We have one left. Hopefully, it blows our minds.
Better.
Great actor.
Yeah.
Okay, he played for the Oakland Raiders
Under Madden.
under Madden.
Yeah.
He played linebacker. The guy. I mean, look at this son of a gun. The guy was. Look at him in Rocky here. I mean, is that a physique or what? So Rocky, they originally had Apollo Creed cast as boxing legend Ken Norton. Ken Norton left the film, and I could not find any reason why. Do you know?
I don't.
Okay. He left the film shortly before production started, and they had Carl Weathers, I guess, he was on their list of replacements. He came in, he was ready, and he killed it.
Yeah.
I mean, could anyone have played Apollo Creed better? There's no one.
No, I don't think so.
Because you needed an athlete who was also had some acting chops.
Yeah.
And he had it all. There was not a lot of guys that looked like him that could pull off a dramatic scene, that could pull off, because it was kind of loosely based on Muhammad Ali, the Apollo Creed character. And, I mean, he played that brash, arrogant.
Living in America.
Absolutely. I mean, he didn't do well after that song, but spoiler alert. It's a great intro. One of the greatest entrances to a boxing match ever.
Get some James Brown.
And
That's
a
right.
mad Russian did not do Apollo Creed well. God damn that Russian. But that's how you have to, that's how you set the stage for a story.
Yeah.
Do you know, okay, so we'll talk about Sylvester Stallone a little bit, but do you know that, okay, we'll talk about that, but that I never knew that Dolph Lundgren, put him in the hospital that severely.
I did hear.
Stallone? Yeah.
Stallone,
yeah.
we'll talk about that in a little bit, but
Didn't know that.
that's crazy. So, Apollo Creed, one of the greatest. I mean, he just nailed it. So
An
then,
icon. Yeah.
yeah, but he sticks around, and he's most recently in The Mandalorian, and he's great in that.
He definitely had a wide range. He wasn't just that one-dimensional, I'm an athlete. He definitely had range.
Yeah, and he kind of came up in an era where it wasn't easy for a black actor to get the sort of opportunities that he got. He just put his head down, he worked hard, and he was really, really talented. And he lasted for decades as a big name.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch Arrested Development?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
When he's on there as himself, as a very Pennywise, he just everything he does is to be cheap. He's super cheap. The guy's trying to throw away a ham bone. He's like, "Why are you throwing that away? You pour a little water in that, some vegetables. You got a stew going, baby." He was so funny in that, and to be able to do drama and comedy is very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be a professional athlete on the side, the guy was massively talented.
Jealous at his talent.
I looked at a lot of the things and I didn't know he was in Toy Story 4. He was Combat Carl. I don't know. So the kids probably know who that was. Adam Sandler put out a really nice tweet. He says, a true great man, great dad, great actor, great athlete. That's a nice thing to say. He says more, but
Yeah.
to say great man and great dad right away.
Yeah.
He says, so much fun to be around always. Smart as hell, loyal as hell, funny as hell. Loved his sons more than anything. What a guy. Everyone loved him. My wife and I had the best times with him every time we saw him. Love to his entire family, and Carl will always be known as a true legend. That's a nice thing. If people say I don't like Adam Sandler, that guy seems like a mensch.
Oh, yeah. He's a great guy.
People, I've never heard many people say anything bad about him. He takes care of his friends, and he's got sweet things to say about people.
If
Yep.
anybody ever says anything bad about Adam Sandler, it's just from a pure point of jealousy.
Yeah.
Probably.
There's
so.
no reason to be mad at Adam Sandler.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's crack that other drink, and I want to talk about everybody's favorite, your top 5 Carl Weathers movies.
All right, so now we're getting into the watermelon
Yeah,
flavor.
Randy,
There you go.
guess first.
Watermelon.
That the more I tried this wild cherry,
Yeah.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. All right, here's one more. We're hoping this is good, Mr. Weathers. Rest in peace,
Yeah,
sir.
please.
Watermelon, way better than the wild cherry. In my
Yes,
opinion.
better than wild cherry.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite of the 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, you did it, Carl.
There, we made it for you, Carl.
Randy, top 5 Carl Weathers movies, starting from 5. Who do you got?
Starting from 5, I would say Mandalorian.
Okay,
I know that's not a movie.
yeah,
but,
for performances.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore's right there. It's got to be.
And then I have Rocky 3.
Rocky 3. Okay.
Okay. And then Predator.
Yes.
And then, of course, Rocky.
Yep.
That's how I
That's a
got
good list. Sammy, what you got?
Like, I've only ever seen like 3 of his movies, so
I should have started with you.
yeah. 4 and 5 are the later Rocky movies. It's just by default it goes to him, you know.
Yeah.
But let's see. 3, Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
He's just great. 2, Predator. 1, Rocky 1.
Yeah. I think we all have the same. I'm a little off. 5 is Happy Gilmore. He is so funny in Happy
He's
Gilmore.
hysterical.
The line that I love, like the where you're not expecting a joke that hits you in the face, and he's talking to Happy Gilmore. Is Chubbs
Chubbs.
Peterson?
Yeah, Chubbs Peterson.
He's Chubbs Peterson, and he goes, they kicked me off the tour, and Happy Gilmore goes, because I'm sorry, because you're black. He goes, hell no, damn alligator ripped off my hand, bit off my hand. It's the funniest line.
Yeah.
And he sells it so well. He's got that stupid wood hand. So funny.
Yeah.
Those Adam Sandler movies,
Yeah.
that and Billy Madison, I will always watch. They are really funny. All right, 5's Happy Gilmore. 4 is Rocky 4, where he doesn't do too well
Yeah.
after living in America. 3 is Predator. 2 is Rocky 2, and 1 is Rocky.
Yeah.
It's right there.
You know, that's I had a hard time really saying, all right, which Rocky, what's going to come in here. And also, I was really kind of saying, he's a supporting actor in a lot of these and always had some great roles. Do I rank him on how I like the movie
Yeah.
or how I like his performance?
Yeah.
And if I rank it on how I like his performance or how it's impacted me,
Yes.
I might have to put Happy Gilmore as number 1.
Really?
Because I've said a line from that movie that he said out of hundreds of times over the past 20 years.
It's specific line?
It's all in the hips.
It's all in the hips.
That scene is so
That pops in my head all the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. That's why I say it's the most impact of my life.
That's true.
is
You
that one.
probably quote him more from that movie than in his other movies.
And people have been posting this stuff on Twitter where he's gone, where he passes away, and he's playing the piano in heaven.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Don't worry about me, happy I got." He's got his
Got my
hands
hand
back,
back.
and he's playing "We've Only Just Begun" by the Carpenters, which is a beautiful song. Karen Carpenter, by the way, we'll talk about her in another episode one of these days. One of the greatest voices ever. That's a whole other story. But it's haunting. It's haunting to see, him playing the piano and being in heaven, now after he's gone. But only 76, young man, in great friggin' shape.
Yeah, I wonder though if because he is a good actor, but he's got so many movies that were before my time that could be great. And I don't even know.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of movies that he was the lead, and maybe they're great, and I should go back and watch them.
You should. There's a few that I hadn't even heard of that are
Yeah.
apparently pretty good. Look at him in Predator here, though.
Wow.
I mean, he hung. He did not look ridiculous next to Arnold Schwarzenegger,
But he is ridiculous looking.
Mr. Olympia. I mean, or Mr. Universe. I mean, Arnold was the greatest bodybuilder of all time, in most people's opinion.
Yeah.
And this guy is just a genetic freak and looked amazing. So, rest in peace. What a
Yeah.
guy. What a career. What a life. And I'm glad to hear that he was a good dad and really loved by his friends. So, and Sly put out a very nice. He was like, this is a tough day. Like he loved Carl Weathers. So that leads us to what we wanted to talk about. We didn't even know Mr. Weathers was going to have this untimely passing, but I wanted you to watch the Sly and Arnold documentaries. So what did you guys think? Now you watched them too, Rando.
I did.
All right. I watched the Sly one recently. I watched the Arnold one before. I think I liked the Arnold one better.
Yes, I agree.
It was 3 parts. It was more in depth. But I thought the Sly one was really interesting.
Well, it's not that it wasn't as interesting. Arnold's a more interesting person. He's done more with his life, and so I think his documentary just had a lot more to talk about.
Yeah,
My opinion.
I don't know if yeah, that's an interesting take. But Sly came out of the gutter.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not taking away from his story. I still love
Yeah.
Sly's story too. But outside of film, that was him. He's a famous actor. Where Arnold was the governor and Arnold was the bodybuilder.
I feel like he was more dynamic. And
That's true. And Arnold was he was in the military. He came out. He was not an American. He knew very little English. So that's a valid point.
Yeah.
Who's the bigger star? Who's the bigger action star?
Schwarzenegger. Oh, I'm sorry. Go on. Sorry.
I would say Schwarzenegger. I'd agree.
It's Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Who's the more talented guy? Now here's where it gets tricky because Stallone wrote freaking Rocky.
Yeah.
And he wrote a lot of things. He's a really talented guy. He's an artist. He's a painter. You could see some of his stuff. He's no slouch.
No.
I don't know. Is he a better actor?
Uh,
I think he might be a better actor because he plays the dramatic stuff. But
let's go. I got an opinion on this, but
tough.
let's hear your opinion first.
It's tough.
Randy, what do you think?
the better actor, I'm gonna probably say Stallone.
Yeah.
See, I'm going Schwarzenegger, and here's why.
Okay.
Stallone, he wrote such good characters that I think that carried him through those scenes. Now, he was a good actor, don't get me wrong, but his characters were so strong that they just carried the scene, where I think Arnold was more dynamic.
Yeah. They did not want, we saw the thing. They did not want him to play. They offered him, what, $300,000 to not be Rocky?
Yeah.
They wanted James Caan, Burt Reynolds, and the guy that we hate on the show, Ryan. Jesus, why can't I think of his name now? Ryan O'Neal. And he's like, no, I this is my role. And he bet on himself.
Yeah.
Gotta love a guy that bets on himself and wins big.
And honestly, that franchise would have been nothing without him.
Yeah.
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 So good.
Yeah. Okay. So let's rank our Stallone movies.
Okay.
Rando, you ready?
Yeah, I can go.
Let's do your Stallone movie. This was a hard one for me because
Five
I haven't
one,
seen
right?
as many as I've seen the Schwarzenegger movies. So Stallone movies, top 5. Let's start from 5.
All right. Yeah, this was tough. There were so
Tough.
many. So and you guys, I do not expect you'll be lined up with me here as on the
You
last
don't
one.
have to
since
preface your choices. It's okay.
you guys know I love Point Break and The Fifth Element.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Judge Dredd, number 5.
Holy shit, Randy!
Wow. Okay, I am going to judge
love
you on
it.
that one.
I love
yes,
it.
I am.
Talk about judge. I am judging you a lot right now.
That's fine.
The Rob Schneider vehicle?
Demolition Man for number 4.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay. Tango and Cash.
This is the most. Ray Stack is going to be watching
we said
this.
best
I
5,
knew-
not
yeah.
worst 5. Okay, we said best 5, not worst 5, right?
Ray Stack just got very happy when you said Tango and Cash.
Yeah, Tango and Cash. Rambo First Blood, and Rocky.
Okay.
So-
You can't argue with 2 and 1.
No.
You know,
can argue with
it-
5, 4, and 3. though.
I didn't want to have to shove 4 Rockies in there, so I was like, all right, I'm going to give Rocky one spot here. You could probably slide.
You
him
did a
in.
better
Yeah.
job because I have a lot of Rockies. So who do you got, Sambo?
All right, well, I'm starting off 5 with Cliffhanger.
Okay.
Okay, not bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got it on my. I've got
it's
like
on
an
my
honorable
list, yeah.
mention. Yeah.
Demolition Man. I agree with him on that one. That was a
I gotta
great
go
movie.
rewatch that.
That is a great
I
movie.
like Wesley Snipes in that.
And even Sandra Bullock was
Yeah.
good in it. It's a
Yeah.
good movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why you don't
Okay,
like it.
Benjamin Bratt was in that, wasn't he?
Yep. Benjamin Bratt.
That's a nice pull.
You're gonna hate me for this one, but I put Expendables up there.
I've never seen
Okay.
Expendables.
I love the first one. The rest of them, but the first one was
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Yeah. It was okay.
Rambo and Rocky.
Yeah. Yeah. I got First Blood. I got Rambo First Blood at 5. And then I got a bunch of Rockies. I got Rocky 4 at 4. Rocky 3, Rocky 2, Rocky 1. It was just all Rockies after that. And I know it's not creative, but I think that's his best work.
It is, but that might tell you that he's not as good of an actor if all of his movies that you like are Rocky.
Well, Copland was one of the ones I thought he had a magnificent performance. I interrupted you, Randy. What were you going to say?
No, I mean, I thought his performance. It just speaks to how good those movies were.
They were, yes.
You
I'm
know.
not dogging them at all. They were great.
And of course, this is nostalgia for us too.
Yes. There were a lot that I didn't see. Like, I didn't see a lot of the Rambos. Like, the First Blood was such a good movie. You know what I've never seen? Like, really? And Bill Stanzer is going to hate me, but I've never really seen Over the Top.
What?
I saw that a
Oh,
long
man.
time ago.
I know you
That's
I
true.
know
That
you know
didn't
that.
make it into any of our top 5s. It's true.
Lincoln Hawk, apparently, was the name of the character, and I just thought that was so ridiculous. There was a movie called Lords of Flatbush. You guys saw that in the documentary.
That was like his
Yeah.
very first movie.
Never-
Right?
that
Never
the
saw it.
Fonz was in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never saw it.
That's an original old one.
The Awful Ones. I never saw Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, but I never will.
That is my
Watched it.
number
It's-
one worst movie for Sylvester Stallone.
I was
That
like
is a
8 years old, so it was
terrible
entertaining
movie.
for me.
Yeah.
Even at 8 years old, I'm like, you can tell they made that whole movie off of that one line. It was so bad.
Yeah, and it's funny that Schwarzenegger like tricked him into doing it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's in the documentary. He's
I
like,
missed that then.
yeah. He goes, I saw this terrible movie, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, and I told my agent to, that I wanted it because I knew Sly would want it.
They were
If I wanted it, and he jumped on it, and Sly admits he's like, yeah, I wanted it because Schwarzenegger wanted it, and then I did a
that's-
horrible movie.
I missed that in the documentary.
Those two had a really funny, interesting relationship
Yeah.
because they were so competitive with each other.
Yeah.
And that like steel sharpens steel kind of thing, like that rings true with them. Like that competition they had was great. Those were the two biggest action stars of our generation. Was there anyone that was even close?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, Seagal not even close.
No.
Van Damme not even close.
No.
Ralph Macchio, maybe.
No. Well, Macchio was so dynamic and everything else he did. There wasn't anybody else. I mean, Bruce Willis was a big action star,
Yeah.
but he didn't do enough.
He kind of like a different mold, though,
Yeah,
of action star.
yeah, correct. He wasn't the big muscle guy. Yeah. He wasn't the guy that was going to rip your head off.
It's like your 40-year-old dad.
Yeah. So some of the awful ones, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Get Carter. Do you ever see that one? Him
I
and
did.
Mickey Rourke.
Yes.
It
It wasn't great.
it
I
could've
don't like
been
his
good.
goatee.
No,
It's
no,
terrible.
it was bad. It was a remake.
Yeah.
Oscar, never saw it, but it apparently dreadful. And then Escape Plan 2, I didn't even know got made.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I guess Dave Bautista's in that. He replaces Arnold Schwarzenegger. So Bautista's fine, but stick with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And Rocky 5 might be the shittiest movie I've ever seen.
That was bad.
No.
And here's why.
Not the
Here's why. Because it piggybacked off of the great characters. It had everybody in it. It had Talia Shire. It had Burt Young. It obviously had Sylvester Stallone. So to do that, and he admits, he's like, it didn't hit. It was kind of a love letter to fathers and sons, and I missed the mark. But you thought it wasn't terrible?
I mean, I didn't think it was the worst movie I'd ever seen. I have a special spot reserved there.
Do you think? Because Tommy Morrison was in it, and Tommy Morrison was
The
a fighter.
machine gun.
Tommy the Machine Gun. But Tommy Morrison was an actual fighter, a terrible actor in that movie.
Yeah,
Do you
not
think being in Rocky V or getting AIDS was worse for Tommy Morrison? He got AIDS.
I would probably say the AIDS at least for him.
Probably the AIDS.
I mean, you could live with AIDS, but I don't know if you could live with Rocky 5.
Somebody had to say that joke like 20 years ago, right? I just thought of it. Sorry, America. All right, so now we're on to the big one. Schwarzenegger's the bigger star. Top 5 Schwarzenegger movies. Starting with 5. Randy, let's hear it.
Okay. Well, I know you loved my list last time. This one I think you won't be so controversial.
Are you upset with me?
No.
Okay.
I just love.
You know I love you.
I was like, I'm writing these. I'm like, James is gonna. He knows my taste is so bad. It's like I'm gonna love these. All right. I've got Total Recall number 5.
Okay, that's a very
Okay.
solid choice.
Yeah.
That's a very solid choice. Same color on this, by the way. There's no color. Total Recall number 5.
Total Recall. Twins at number 4.
Okay, Twins is still hilarious.
Yeah.
Funny, yeah.
That's high up there for my taste, but yes.
Okay. Got Predator
Okay.
for number 3, and then Terminator 2 and Terminator 1.
That's a pretty solid list. I'm down with that.
I don't know about Twins being top 5. It's a good movie, but top 5, I don't know if I could get behind that. But it is a good list you got.
All right. Yeah, it is. What do you got?
All right, I'm starting off. Number 5 is Running Man. Love that.
That's a
movie.
That's a good
great
movie.
movie.
Good movie,
It's
yeah.
not in my top 5, and it was hard because I love that movie.
Great movie. And then True Lies. I love True Lies.
Yeah.
Excellent.
My honorable
Predator 3, Terminator 2, and then Total Recall is actually my favorite movie.
Really?
Yeah, I love
Total
that movie.
Recall.
I can't hate
is
on that.
good.
I like Total Recall.
Absolutely love that.
It's
Yeah.
a very good list. That's very respectable.
Yeah.
I got one that you guys don't have. It's my number 5. Conan the Barbarian. Have you guys seen it?
Yes.
I have, but it was a long time ago.
It is
Oh, I couldn't
so
remember
good.
that.
It is so good.
Was it good because you saw it when you were younger, or you think it still holds up?
No, it was written by Oliver Stone. It's like legit. It's legit, and James Earl Jones is in it. He's the baddie.
I remember that.
He's Tulsa
Yeah.
Doom, and he's
so thin.
excellent. Yeah, he is. It's great. If you haven't seen Conan the Barbarian, you're missing out. And Arnold is actually very good in it.
Yeah.
Like, the guy worked his ass off to be the superstar he is.
Yeah.
And if he wasn't such a political turncoat, he'd go, screw your freedoms, get the shot. Everybody you should be in jail if you don't get the vaccination. I was like, what? You live in a compound. Don't tell people how to live their life. You don't live like us, you scumbag. Conan the Barbarian. True Lies is number 4.
Mm-hmm.
True Lies is a very good movie.
Yes.
I mean, him and James Cameron made magic. They really work well together.
Yeah.
It leads me into number 3, Terminator 2. Rarely does a sequel hit like that. I remember when it came out, they would play. We would go down to my grandmother's house, and they would have this thing where you could buy a song for like $1. And my brother, I was like, oh, we're gonna get in trouble. I was like, oh, we're good, because he wanted to see the footage, because they had footage of "You Could Be Mine" by Guns N' Roses. They had footage of Terminator 2 in there, so he just every time 99 cents. He's like, well, repercussions later. We got to see this. We got to see the footage. So I watched that. One of my favorite songs ever. One of the greatest soundtrack songs ever. Number 2, Predator. It's just that good.
So good.
It is, yeah.
Every time it's on, I watch it. And number 1, it's not his best performance, but the Terminator is number 1.
Yeah. Well, I think he said he had like 50 lines or something total in that movie.
Yeah.
It's a really low amount, so it really isn't his best acting job, but it really was
It's
amazing.
but it's just such a great movie. And they wanted him originally to be Kyle Reese.
Yeah.
They wanted him to be Reese.
Yeah.
You have a son named Reese.
I do.
Is he named after Kyle Reese? Please
No.
say yes. Please say.
Oh,
You could have lied. It's not. There's no. You're not under oath here.
could have been saving the world one day.
But I guess I can't remember the story. Do you remember? Did he say to Cameron?
When he sat down with Cameron, and the way he described the character, Cameron was like, "You are the Terminator," and then he said, "No, that's not for me." He thought about it
Yeah.
as he built into the
So-
character.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Just Cameron saw how passionate he was about that character. He was like, "You got to play him."
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was talking about. He's like, oh, he's got to just be like a machine.
Yeah.
That's a good Arnold.
Sometimes they you get that other opinion, and somebody sees it and they see it clearly. And you know the story behind that. The original choice was O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah,
And they go, nobody will believe that he's a killer. That he's a cold-blooded killer.
yeah. In the documentary, there's like chuckle from the production.
It's so
That's a
funny.
good one, yeah. That's
It is so funny. Oh, God. The world is a crazy place.
Yeah.
Crazy place.
Arnold made some bad ones too.
Yes, let's talk about the
Yeah.
garbage.
Well, can we? Hey, Kindergarten Cop has to be an honorable mention.
Kindergarten Cop's an honorable
Yeah.
mention.
That's
Yeah.
a bad movie.
No, it's
Oh,
a
that
good
is
movie.
Terrible. That is
I-
my least
I think-
favorite Arnold movie.
I think I saw that one like when I was 8 as well. So
At eight, it's a great movie. You
Yeah.
watch it now, it's terrible. I mean,
I
like,
don't think I've
one
watched
of
it since.
The,
but-
the number one Arnold quoted line is from that movie, but that doesn't make the movie anymore.
What, it's not a tumor?
Yeah, that's like everybody uses that line, but other than that movie was terrible.
yeah.
No, I disagree. I thought it was watchable. What are the bad ones?
That was like my worst one. I
Junior.
didn't even talk about it in his documentaries how bad it was.
Randy hit it. Junior is the
Junior.
biggest piece of trash.
Yeah, I did not like
Did
it.
he
I
ever
watched
made?
Junior over Kindergarten Cop.
Junior is so bad that it's Batman and Robin is better.
Ew, that's really bad.
That's how bad Junior is. When Schwarzenegger's on there, everybody's kind of like macho alpha hero,
Mm-hmm.
and he's carrying a baby, and he goes, "I'm going to be a mama too." I'm like,
It's
well,
so bad.
thanks, childhood,
yeah.
you're ruined.
Yeah.
Jingle
weird.
All the Way is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terminator Dark Fate, that's the new one.
I did too.
I got through 20 minutes of it.
Yeah, I don't think I saw it.
It is so bad. And I looked at some lists of like Schwarzenegger movies ranked, and it was like high. Oh my god, underrated. Raw Deal's kind of underrated. Have you ever seen Raw
It's
Deal?
okay. Yeah. It's been so long.
Conan the Destroyer, Red Heat.
Red Heat. Or,
I got
Red
Total
Sonja.
Recall on here because I didn't have it on my list because it's so good.
What about Last Action Hero?
It's. Go ahead, Randy.
I liked it. I was.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I was like a teenager at the time, maybe 13. I can't remember what year it came out, but
Yeah,
like
it
early
was
90s.
Supposed to be huge. It
Yeah.
was meta. It was
Yeah.
interesting. They tried.
think
I've
it-
seen it. It doesn't hit as well.
I think you're saying the
not
story
great.
was unique. I
Yeah.
like the story, but I just don't think the movie hit.
It was written by Shane Black, and Shane Black was in Predator. He played Hawkins, the guy that told all the dirty jokes.
Okay.
Nice.
He was the writer. He kind of got his break because he wrote Lethal Weapon. That's Shane Black, and so Shane Black wrote that. And everybody, after Lethal Weapon, his star was kind of shining. Pumping Iron, if you haven't seen it, it's a documentary about his bodybuilding career. It's when he's very young. He says some kind of funny things in there. It's worth watching. It's really good, and a really underrated movie that I love as a kid and still holds up is Commando.
Commando.
Yeah.
Commando's a great movie. So
A lot
much
of,
fun.
lot
to
of
watch.
one-liners in that one.
lot of one-liners in that movie, and he's so big and he's so like dominating. He beats the shit out of people. He drops the guy off the fucking cliff with it by 1 foot.
Shoots a million rounds, never changes the clip.
Yeah,
Magazine.
exactly. Fights the guy from Mad Max, and he wins at the end. Oddly enough, so blow off some steam, Bennett. So
Right.
Yeah. Both documentaries are real good, though. Let's
Yeah,
get
the
back to
docs-
those.
the
And I
docs were
recommend
good.
them because it gives you a deeper look into both of them.
Schwarzenegger one I think is like a B plus, and I think the Sylvester Stallone one is like a B. What do you got? Any disagreements with that?
No, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
The Arnold one, it's a 3-part,
Yeah.
docu-series, I guess is what you might call it.
Yeah.
About an hour long. And, it kind of gives it 3 different phases of his career, like the bodybuilding, the acting, and then his, the politics side of it.
Yeah,
Which that was the only downside because they did him in order of
Mm-hmm.
his career, which is good. But the political episode was like the worst of the 3, and that's what they ended it on.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
but you have to do it in order. But
Yeah,
I
you're
would-
right though. They probably could have done that in reverse a
I
little
wish they
bit.
would have done it backwards.
Politics is so boring
It
for it's so disingenuous.
There's some cool parts to it, but an hour long, I'm like, I'm over those.
But another common thread they have, they kind of grew up in difficult circumstances. What were you gonna say?
I liked the theme of like Arnold's documentary where it was, work hard and be useful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
I
kinda
do like
the
that.
overarching theme.
yeah, and you are like that. That is your philosophy in life. Like you do work hard, and you are like you're always a good friend, and you're always helping out. So you practice what you preach. And they were both they were driven to be better than the circumstances they were brought up in.
Yeah.
And I really liked, especially like we were saying with Arnold, even though he's top of his game, he hits a setback, and it hit him really hard. He would take the setbacks, even though he was famous and rich, he would take a setback to like really to heart, like, oh man, my career's over.
Yeah.
And then he would, like you said, he would turn it around and become better from it.
Yeah, you got to beat the crap out of yourself sometimes. I mean, I think we all do it when we kind of fail and we let ourselves down, and it's good, it's healthy as long as you can come out the other side and not go into spiral out. So, but the big thread between both of them that I saw, they both had very distant, difficult fathers.
Yeah.
And they wanted to be better men than their fathers. So, I think the lesson in that is be a shitty father, and you'll have better kids.
I think all the how-to books are getting it wrong.
Yeah, I think any man that's had a difficult father has really tried to be better. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's wrong, but
Or they just do drugs their whole life. And
yeah. I mean, a lot of
It's,
people.
it's one way or the other. There's no middle ground.
A lot of
You're
people
bad dad.
spiral out. I mean, I had a great father, and and I try to be a great father, but some of these stories where you hear, they're like, I just was raised by a bad guy, but they still loved him. Like
Yeah.
Sly loved his dad. He's kissing him goodbye, but they seemed to be estranged for a while before
Yeah.
Daddy got sick.
And I think on it too, like Sylvester's dad was just bad. And,
Yeah.
Arnold's dad had his problems, but like Sylvester's dad to the very end was just bad.
Yeah, Arnold's dad was a smidge of a Nazi, I think.
Well,
And he didn't
That's-
really have
he
to
was a
live
bad-
with them after 20.
I meant he was
Yeah.
he was a bad person, but I think later in life, like he wasn't the worst dad.
Yeah,
Bit of a
yeah.
Nazi maybe. Yeah.
Sly's dad seemed like
It's a piece of shit.
kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
yeah. But Sly seems like a pretty good brother. He takes care of Frank.
Yeah.
Because Frank's like, oh yeah, nobody wanted to hear me sing after my brother became so famous. Like, no one wanted to hear you sing in the beginning, Frank. Yeah, I think Sylvester took real good care of you. You're good, but he's a good brother. Like it's like going to wrestling. Macho Man Randy Savage, he had a brother named Lanny Poffo, and Lanny never said one bad word about his brother. He goes, my brother helped me with everything. I would not have been the wrestler I was without my brother and his fame and his genius and the character he created. And I think Randy left him everything.
Oh wow.
I think he left it because Randy didn't have any kids or anything. So I think he was like in control. And unfortunately, Lanny Poffo died like a year ago. But the stories of like our dad was shitty, but I'm going to take care of my brother. It's a nice it's a nice story there. And Sly seems to be very good with his daughters and everything. So hey, whatever gets you there.
Yeah, his documentary focused more on the 3 different series or 3 different, there was like the Rambo, the Rocky, and then the Expendables.
Yeah, right. 3 franchises. he
Yeah,
created,
franchises.
which is pretty impressive. To create 3 franchises that make you a lot of money, that guy's got to be worth some bucks too.
Yeah.
Who do you think has more bucks, him or Schwarzenegger? I think Arnold does.
Arnold.
does.
I was surprised to learn that Arnold was a millionaire before
Yeah.
Yeah,
getting into movies.
He was a He was just
Buying up real estate.
Yeah, buying up real estate, and he was working on houses and stuff.
Yeah.
The guy just knew how to.
He's just a winner.
Yeah,
He wins at everything.
he does. He does because he refuses to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy, he figured it out. I mean, he cheated a little bit with steroids, but other than that,
And
he's still
not just steroids.
cheated with steroids and maids.
And they, yep.
Yeah.
Joseph is a wonderful child.
So
He
the
looks
lesson-
exactly like me.
The lesson here is if you want to win, you got to cheat.
You do. You gotta cheat. You said you heard it here from Sammy. Cheat and do drugs. Sam Schaefer. He's telling you how it is.
Not the fentanyl, folks.
Yeah, not the fentanyl. All right, this is the longest closing segment we've
Yes.
ever had. Half an hour. But thanks, Randy, for coming on. It's been a wonderful season.
pleasure.
One. We've had a great time. I can't believe you're the champ. I mean, he's sitting here, the picks champion. So let me know if you got anything. We're going to post some more picks. We'll be back. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Happy dad. You know, you tried.
Yeah.
Treat yourself. And
Cheers.
thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. We love you all. We'll see you soon.